Thanks for tuning in to one of our Healthy Home videos. Today we have with us Dr. Shellie Russell. She's a pediatrician that practices in Wooster, Ohio. Thanks for coming in today, Shellie.
Thank you, Tony, for asking me.
They stopped making lead-based paint in 1978, but is there still a concern with children and pregnant women with lead-based paint?
Absolutely. And we as pediatricians and the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Centers for Disease Control still view lead as a very important factor for us to view in our environment. The effects of lead on small children is lifelong if the lead level is high. And so we screen frequently in the well visits for lead levels.
So how many children are affected by lead-based paint in the United States on a yearly basis?
So the statistics show about 2.5% of U.S. preschoolers have a blood level greater than 5 micrograms per deciliter, which represents about 535,000 children between the ages of 1 and 5.
It's a lot of children still being affected. So when does the medical industry actually screen for this lead level in children?
We screen in our well visits at 1 and 2 years of age.
Do you do it any other time?
We do if they have risk factors. So if they are living in a home that is older and has the potential for lead-based paint, as well as lead in the piping. We also screen if they are in a high-risk zip code. And we have a number of counties and zip codes that are considered high risk in Ohio.
A lot of old housing stocks still in Ohio, homes built before
Absolutely.
1978. Absolutely. What are some of the long-term effects of lead poisoning for children and fetuses?
The level used to be 10 micrograms per deciliter that we were concerned about. Recently, somewhere between 2010 and 2012, we decreased that level to a level of 5 micrograms per deciliter. The importance even of that 5 micrograms of deciliter difference can make an impact of 5 or 6 points on an IQ level. And so we watch the lead levels in particular with our younger kids because it makes such a huge impact on their development in their brains, and certainly makes a lifelong impact on their IQ.
How does lead affect the fetus in a pregnant woman?
The brain development is ongoing. Now, the beautiful thing with the fetus is that there is a lot of filter between what the mom is ingesting and the blood flow that the baby gets. But certainly a mom who has a significantly high lead level would be a concern for passing along unhealthy toxins to her baby. But definitely our preschoolers are our main focus because their brains are developing so quickly.
So do you think it's a good idea for people to have their homes assessed for lead hazards when buying or renting or renovating a home?
Absolutely. And I think as you have expressed in some of your other videos, the importance of looking both at the water source and the piping that the water comes through, as well as the lead paint in the house is very important. Especially with our smaller kids, they're crawling around, they're putting things in their mouth all the time, and it can be a significant hazard to them.
And what does lead taste like?
It tastes sweet.
So it tastes like candy to them?
Absolutely. When I practiced in Houston, Texas, one of our concerns was getting pottery that had lead-based paint. And people would put water in it because it would make the water a little bit sweeter as well.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So thank you for coming in today and talking about the lead hazard. So obviously it's still a concern in the United States.
I'd like to give you an interesting fact. For every $1 invested to reduce lead hazards in housings, society would benefit by an estimated $17 to $221, a cost-benefit ratio that is comparable to that of childhood vaccines. And I think that says a lot.
That's some very good information. I appreciate you sharing that with us, and tune in for our next Healthy Home video.